Welcome to Yoga Rocks Box. I'm here with the beautiful Helen Rebel, who's just finished a week of Vinyasa Flow. How did it go?
Yeah, it was a really nice week. It was very uplifting and lively, and I think everyone had a good time, and they went home a little calmer, maybe a little bit stronger, maybe a little bit flexible.
No, the classes were amazing. Definitely the funkiest classes I've ever been to. With music choices from Faithless and Chemical Brothers to Krishna Das and mystical mantras. What inspires the music?
Yeah, I like it a bit lively. So I like to bring a bit of dance music in. I think the practice should be uplifting, at least some of it, and calming at the same time. So definitely a mix of soothing music, sometimes mantras, and then some funky stuff, some upbeat music for salutations. I think it gets people going. I think if the will to practice is not there, then sometimes music helps and it gets you on the mat.
Yeah.
So in that way it's a good tool. But here, because it's so peaceful, it's also nice to practice without music sometimes, because here with no background noise, you can take advantage of that silence. So some classes with, some classes without.
Do you think using music could make it more difficult to have that kind of body-mind connection, or get into that like stillness in the posture?
This is a very good question, and that's what I think about when I'm teaching here, because here you have that silence. If you teaching in towns, maybe teaching in gyms, I think the music can help the mind quieten, help the focus. But out here, maybe sometimes it's cheating slightly to use music, because it helps people get into it, when in actual fact maybe they should practice on focusing without music.
It was really fun though, and I feel like everyone, really joined together and had a good practice with the funky tunes. That was good. Also, you introduced Kriya as another purification and cleansing techniques. At least explaining them, if not actually doing them. Do you think it's important to introduce the Kriyas early on in practice?
I think
for students?
Kriyas are a nice part of yoga. They're it's nice on a retreat to go a little step further, even if you, like you say, even if you don't actually do them, to introduce techniques that you might otherwise not find out about if you're just going to a regular class.
Well, that's it. I think some people go to classes for years and could never even hear about the Kriyas, let alone do them.
So I like to give them a chance to maybe have a go, to introduce them a little bit. There's lots of different Kriyas, different cleansing techniques, and they say that you should use the ones that work for you, so it's not that you should practice them all every day.
That's interesting.
So we got to do a little bit of neti, which is the salt water up the nose one.
Well,
and
real favourite.
It was quite fun with everyone snorting warm water. It was highly entertaining. So the Kriyas are a light-hearted look. I take a light-hearted look at the Kriyas, even though they're a very good way of cleansing the body, and an interesting way of investigating the way your body works, I think.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to introduce them to people for sure. Something else which I really wanted to ask about is yoga off the mat. You talk about doing yoga off the mat, and I can see that you always do yoga off the mat. But for other people, how do we go about bringing yoga into our daily life, so it's not just about like the yoga postures in a class, that we can really take something away and bring a kind of yogic mindfulness into everyday life?
If you practice
tips
properly on the mat, you don't have to worry about taking the yoga off the mat. It will happen. Sometimes it might take time, but you will see, if you're practicing regularly, even if you are practicing asana without even thinking about what else there is, if you're practicing asana in a quiet, calm way, you will find that you become calmer, have more energy, feel more comfortable in your body off the mat. So I think that it's very difficult not to take yoga off the mat. I think some people do succeed, and there's this danger of getting really into your asana practice and thinking these poses are really important and wanting to be stronger and fitter and bendier, and the ego gets really strong. There is a danger that will happen, and then for me that's not really yoga anymore. But I think most people, if they have a good teacher and practice mindfully, then the yoga will just naturally move off the mat. Yeah.
So in terms of calmness and patience.
Calmness, patience, love, more space for love in your life, being more conscious of how you behave, being more conscious of how other people behave and why they behave, and then maybe changing your behaviour if you need to, or maybe inviting someone else to change their behaviour in a nice way, but obviously you have to watch that one. So yeah, I think David Williams is here this week, and he likes to use the word conscious, and I think that yoga is about being conscious.
Yeah. Do you think you need to learn these things for yourself before you can kind of show it to others? Do you think you need to fully?
I think if you're in the process of
like
having,
for example, like feeling like more love for yourself before you can
feel more, yes, I think so. Yeah. If
So
you're in
you
the
should
process
focus
of that,
for yourself
and
first.
yes. But if you're in the process of that, then sometimes this means, I think it's a good time to feel more love for the others, for example. So if you're in the process of being right, I'm okay really, it's all okay, it's going to be okay. If you're in that process of finding that for yourself, then maybe it's a good moment to find that for other people. Oh, they're okay really, or they've got this going on, oh, I can forgive them for that. If you've done it for yourself, then maybe it's a good time to do it for others as well. So maybe the two are a little bit more connected.
So you don't think you have to try too hard, just let it happen.
I think,
let it
yeah.
happen naturally.
Yeah, if you practice, whether it's asana, meditation, any yoga, I think if you practice sincerely and regularly, you will find it affects you in a good way.
Okay, well, I think that's about all we have to. Unless there's anything else you want to.
No, that's great. Thank you, Melissa, for interviewing me.
Welcome, it's a pleasure. And it was a great week. Everyone loved it. Everyone floated away.
Wicked.
And cut.